Okay, so my action was to squat and pick up an object. So at the hip, you're going to have flexion as you squat down. Your knees are going to flex, your ankles are going to dorsiflex, and your foot's going to remain relatively neutral. The range of motion about for each joint, you're probably going to need at least 90 degrees of hip flexion, depending on how low you're squatting to get down. You're going to need about 90 degrees of knee flexion, but again, it depends on how far you're squatting down. And then you're gonna probably need at least 10 degrees of dorsiflexion. And then your foot again is gonna remain neutral. The iliopsoas is going to be the main hip flexor, and it is going to be a concentric contraction. The rectus femoris is going to help a little bit with hip flexion, and it's also going to be a concentric contraction. And then the hamstrings are going to be your main knee flexor, and it is going to be a concentric contraction again. And then your tibialis anterior is going to be your main dorsiflexor for the ankle, and it's going to be an eccentric contraction. So the muscles I'm gonna strength test are gonna be the hamstrings. So I'm gonna have you lay on your belly.
Which way?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna have you bring this leg up, and I'm gonna palpate right here on his hamstring, and then I'm gonna try to pull your leg down. I want you to resist me. Don't let me pull your leg down.
Okay.
So, no. I'm gonna pull it. So, hold there, and now hold, relax. So I would give him a 5 out of 5 on that. And then the next one, I'm gonna have you sit on the edge, and I'm gonna strength test his tibialis anterior. So I'm gonna have his knee bent, and then I'm gonna have his ankle sitting on my knee, and then I'm gonna have you keep your foot like that, and then I'm gonna try to push it down. Don't let me push it down.
Okay.
Hold, and I would give him a 5 out of 5 again on that one. And then I'm going to measure his active and passive range of motion for hip flexion and knee flexion. So I'm going to have you lay on your back.
There's a lot of big words. Inflection.
And then I'm going to do his hip first, so I want you to show me how far you can bring your hip up. This other one. So I can. So then, since it's active, I'm having him do it, and then I'm going to put the stabilizing arm along him. I'm going to line it up with the greater trochanter. And then I'm going to put the movable arm along his femur. And he has 118 degrees of active range of motion. And then I'm going to have him relax and you do it.
Okay.
So I'm going to push him to his end range. And he had about 120. and then he got about 125. And then we're gonna do knee flexion, so I'm gonna have you bend your knee as far as you can. Okay. So on this one, I'm gonna line it up on the lateral epicondyle of the femur. I'm gonna line the stationary arm up with the femur, and then I'm going to line the movable arm up with his tibia. And he got 135 degrees of knee flexion. I'm gonna have you relax, and then I'm gonna do it. Does that hurt?
No.
Up again. And then he got 145 degrees of passive knee flexion. So very functional within range, and we would be able to squat all the way down to the floor and get something off the floor.